in 3, 7, 6,
10,
6,
11.
6. Mark of the beast. 3, 2, 1. I skipped 4 and 5. It's all good. 3, 2, 1. Wait, what happened? Welcome to the placeholder. Oh no! I already messed up. Okay. Welcome to the Placeholder Podcast. I am joined by the gayest guy on the internet.
G-Man.
Season 2, new you, the scumbag himself. The scummiest scummer to ever scum the universe.
Tell me again why I'm a scumbag now?
You just are.
Okay, you're a scumbag because when we were doing the videos last night, Richard pointed out that you had to be the one to start, even when it wasn't your video.
And he always had to bring up his anyway.
Yeah, so you're a scummy scumbag.
Oh, wait. I brought up both of yours as well.
No, you can vouch for me.
No,
can
at the
vouch for
end,
me.
I just plugged everyone's videos.
Yeah, at the end.
At the end.
But in the middle.
You yelled at me for bringing up my challenge. You were like,
he beat
stop.
him afterwards.
He did.
Like, he paused the recording and just, like,
Anyway,
slapped
for
his
those
ass
of you
with
who
it.
don't know, the scummiest scumbag ever is Jaxus' Scarlet.
Is Scarlet?
Is Scarlet?
Is that, like, related to the Iscariot?
Yes.
I'd rather not.
Okay, introduce yourself then.
Alright. Anyways, hey everyone, I'm Jaxus.
And I am the coolest guy on the internet. Everybody knows
Anyways, you should all check out my YouTube channel.
that. What a scumbag.
Hey, I got a name to live up to, right?
I'm
Oh my
Rub
God,
Rub.
He's gonna milk the shit out of Scumbag, and you know it.
Well, that's better than being the White Knight, I guess.
I hate all of you.
This is season 2 with new you. You do you, boo-boo. You do you. Anyway, you can find him on blackpeoplemeet.com
Oh my
at
God,
Jaxus
no.
Scarlet.
Mac
people.
Well, since you
Black
set that up
people
so
beat.
perfectly, anyone who wants to understand what the fuck they're talking about, go watch my challenge.
What a scumbag.
Oh,
Alright, so we're gonna hop right into it. What was our icebreaker? Oh yeah, our icebreaker
favorite,
this time
anal bead
is...
product.
What is your least favorite / most intrusive glitch you've ever faced in a video game? We can start with me. And I can't remember specifically which one it was, but it's in the CDI games, and you cannot get past halfway through the game because of you know when you do the animation of picking up a rupee is the same as opening the door. If you accidentally kill the moblin or whatever it is too far off the edge of the screen, it'll drop the rupee to where you can't get it, but instead of opening the door, the animation is making you try to pick up the rupee. And so you're stuck, and even if you restart the game for some reason, the rupee's still there.
Rupees are just permanently placed?
No, just that one.
Okay.
It's really weird. It's really
Gross.
weird.
Huh.
I think Peanut Butter Gamer did something about it, or was it Jontron?
I don't know, it's probably PVG. Because I
Yeah.
don't think John's touched the CDIs.
No.
I really think Peanut Butter Gamer is more of a Zelda fan anyway, I think.
Yeah, actually, that's the reason I like Peanut Butter Gamer so much, is he's such a
pretty
Zelda
big,
fan.
yeah.
He has that
Alright.
Zelda month thing, which
He
is pretty
does,
cool.
he does.
This year it sucked, though.
I didn't watch it.
Alright, anyway, we're gonna move on to G-Man, the Cosmic Destroyer.
I didn't exactly really have, like, a big one, but one I guess that's been, recent is, people in the net have called it the Dag Nabbit glitch in Smash 4 Wii U.
So good.
Oh, it's, it only works in training mode, and it can be done with any character. And what you do is you go into training, and you go to Mushroom Kingdom U, and you wait for Nabbit to spawn. Once he spawns, you grab him and throw him, and as you're throwing him, you pause the game. And while in training mode, everything, like, the characters, they still move, but everything else freezes, and that's what causes the glitch. And once you unpause, Nabbit will be stuck inside of you, and if you grab the computer and throw it and pause while you're throwing it, unpause, your opponent will be stuck inside of you as well, and it is like the weirdest looking thing ever, and it is so good with Villager.
Especially if you're against Bowser. Looks like you fucking skinned him and wore him as a coat.
You can also, if
We're
you,
doing the little dance.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is
If-
creepy as
if you
hell.
play as characters like Bowser and uses Final Smash turn to Giga Bowser, you can actually freeze the game.
Okay,
Or-
no, tell that fucking story.
Okay, I was dicking around with it. I'm like, I read somewhere that it freezes the game, and I turned to Giga Bowser and I dicked around for like 2 seconds. I'm like, freezes the game my ass. Do a forward smash, freezes it like immediately after I say that.
So, he had the gamepad's audio on, and I quote, freezes the game my ass. Bzzz.
Other stuff that can happen with it, if you don't mind me going into it.
No.
Stuff with like,
Go for it.
Okay, can you stop now, please? You're kind of a scumbag right now.
alright.
I'm just kidding.
If you play with Mega Man, and you use his final smash while a character's inside of you, that character will disappear permanently. Because I guess they're stuck in his giant black hole portal. And if you die, if you were to just jump off the stage and kill yourself, you will not respawn because the game is waiting for that cutscene to happen.
Damn.
So just everything will disappear permanently.
And how does that tie into your YouTube channel? Sorry, scumbag
It's
AJ.
youtube.com/blackpeoplemeet.
Oh, okay. Scumbag Jaxus over here is rubbing off on all of us, so. Anyway, scumbag, it's your turn.
Alright. Huh, I was waiting for you to cut me off there. Anyway, mine would have to be, as I've mentioned before, Twilight Princess. Because that game just does not fucking want to let me play it. For those of you who don't know, I know I've explained this before on podcast, but there's this one dungeon, right after you get the water bombs,
Yeah.
where about partway through you can glitch through one specific wall, and it corrupts your save file.
Mm.
And when it doesn't do that, it just, anytime you reload the game, it puts you back in this, glitchy room.
Ah.
Are you gonna, step back and not be nodding, a foot away from me now?
Sorry.
And I'm the
story, sir.
scumbag. Anyways,
Continue your YouTube channel thing.
the problem with that is the glitchy room has no exits, and legitimately the only way to fix it is restart your save. Because of the amount of time that passed between each time I played Twilight Princess, I managed to forget about it every time. I just remembered, running into something in this dungeon and getting stuck. I've run into that a couple times.
Long story short, he's never finished Twilight Princess.
Indeed not.
Because of this one glitch.
Anyway, I'm assuming that you can see all of this on your YouTube channel or something.
Oh my god, man, this is too much.
I'm just kidding. Jeez. Wow.
Damn, that outweighed GameStop, man.
I don't know. Honestly, I love me some GameStop.com. Did you know that?
Apologies. I'm gonna go walk off, off stage
Are you
and
gonna
kill
roll down the
myself now.
stairs?
Oh, we're on a stage now?
Yep. This is the stage, just heavily elevated and in an attic.
Okay, speaking of Twilight Princess,
Speaking of Twilight Princess, I just stole some candy from Jaxus and it's stuck in my throat.
What the fuck, dude?
That's actually why I was in your face. I was trying to distract you.
Yeah, I was hinting at him
I hate all of you. Legitimately this time.
I knew it would distract you.
it's
Anyway,
stuck in between
if we could please
Good.
come on track now. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll make it prissy with you if you don't pay attention.
prissy.
I'll make it real
You get
prissy.
prissy.
Anyway, God, see, now the segue's gone. There's just no segue now.
And whose fault is that?
Richard's?
How else are we gonna get around in a two-wheel vehicle?
Oh my god. Wrong segue.
I guess since we don't have a segue anymore, let's just get in this raw without a condom, I guess.
Raw up smash.
So we recently saw the video for the new Zelda. We don't even have a working title, do we? Zelda Wii U, I guess?
Yeah, that's what it's being called.
Okay, obviously I'm the biggest Zelda fan here, I'd say.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go last.
Alright, I was gonna say, dude, you completed the fucking pictograph challenge in Wind Waker. We ain't got shit on you.
Oh, I worked hard for that. I worked so hard for that.
That in and of itself.
Alright,
I didn't even know that existed for the longest time.
so Jaxus, what did you think?
I don't know, it looks really good, but I want to see more of what the game actually
Same.
is. Because a lot of what they showed was just overworld and traversal, and hey, look, we got the Deku Leaf back.
Yeah,
Epona
not like-
doesn't run into
but
trees.
Not like,
Yeah.
but no like real gimmick of the game.
Or even, like, main anything. It was all overworld traversal and,
Was.
like, some really cool stuff, but, like, little things, not big core thing. It
You
legitimately
can
it's
pick
enough
up
to whet our
apples from the
appetites.
trees. Isn't that enough?
Dude, you can
Core
you
gameplay
can
mechanic.
Jump off.
You
You can jump off Epona. Everything's slow mo.
hang on. You go to the first dungeon. You get the apple grabber item.
Oh my god, dude, are you villager? Do you play as villager in this game?
I would never play it ever. I fucking hate villagers so much.
Oh, I love Villager.
He does.
Anyway.
too.
I know.
Okay, so I guess Cosmic Destroyer guy thing, dude, whoever the fuck you are. What'd you think of Zelda Wii U?
The trailer looked really fucking cool, but again, it also didn't show off too much. Looks pretty fucking big, not gonna lie. And from the looks of it, it's looking pretty damn nice. Even though it was just like a short teaser, I would say.
Yeah.
But it
Everything
is
we've gotten is
looking
teaser.
really nice. And hands down, the best part about it, Star Fox coming first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
Alright, well, okay, so Rubber up here.
Is about to kill G-Man.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Use bombs wisely.
I'm about to surprise you guys. I'm a little worried. It looked boring. I was happy with the art direction. I was happy with the
Opponent not hitting
graphics.
trees.
And I was really happy about opponent not hitting trees, because I ran into that trying to catch Pose and just running into fences and shit. Like, it's kind
I
of
didn't even
annoying.
bother with Pose.
Well, I beat everything in Ocarina of Time, so screw you. I hope that it was only like that because either they didn't have it done, or because they showed off sections where they purposely didn't want to show things off yet.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
But
I
it
just-
looked barren as hell.
Dude, I assumed it was the second one, but also, I know that they've been talking about switching to a lot more of a focus on the world itself, but if you think Zelda, you don't think the overworld. The
That's true.
overworld is how you get to the interesting
If
parts,
anything,
the
like
dungeons.
the overworld is just
They
kind of
didn't
like,
show any of the
I
dungeons.
have to go back here again.
But, okay,
Yeah, but that's actually exactly what I was saying. They haven't shown shit.
they haven't, no.
Like, they showed the overworld.
Okay, if the overworld sucks, because Twilight Princess's overworld was huge, but it sucked. It sucked
Oh my
anus.
god, it was so
But-
bad.
But what could have saved it was better dungeon design. Which
Yeah.
in and of itself, like, Twilight Princess was still good, but it was good because the bosses were excellent.
They
Some
were.
of the best bosses in Zelda history. But the reason it's never going to make any real Zelda fans top 5, top 3, is because the dungeons themselves were bare bones too. So if they mess up the overworld, that's the thing I care about least.
Yeah.
They just have to get these dungeons correctly. Or, not correctly, they have to do them at a good level of...
Because the dungeons are what really makes Zelda Zelda. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of other things that all combine to make it what it is. The boss fights, atmosphere, just all sorts of stuff. But at the heart of it, gameplay-wise, it is the dungeons. Completely.
Think about, think about Wind Waker, right? Let's
Yeah.
be honest, the overworld sucked.
Yeah.
It
Sure, there was a really cool exploration factor.
Sure, but
just
and
like,
all,
no.
objectively
The
speaking,
water sucked. If they'd taken all the islands and put them a lot closer together, there was so much shit to do.
right? But the islands, most of the
They
good,
weren't great.
most of the big islands that you wanted to explore were also dungeons.
Yeah.
So that was technically part of the traversal of the dungeon. At least that's how
Honestly,
I see it.
I feel like they should look at the overworld as its own form of dungeon, not like
Like they
the
did with
normal-
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, like not in
Actually-
the normal sense, but actually, I think that's perfect. Dude,
Everything
love
about
Skyward
Skyward Sword was, for a while, my number one. But upon replay, the intro and the repeat boss of the spirit kill the game
that one
so hard.
fucking thing, that one boss fight, legitimately. If I ever like find a way to get a copy of that game and just remove that section, just make it skip it,
Tell me how to do it.
yeah, I will probably go back and replay it. Until then, I
Nope.
fucking love that game so much. It's second after Wind Waker, and I'm not sure how much of Wind Waker being in first is just nostalgia, but
No, clearly, I think if that boss didn't exist, and the intro's cool the first time. Actually, the intro is really cool the first time.
Yeah.
But
it
not
is.
giving you the option to skip it is so bad
yeah.
upon replay. And the thing
Dude,
about...
have you-
Loved the
wait, hold
intro
up.
the first time.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Have you guys played Kingdom Hearts 2?
No.
Jaxus has seen Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh.
That
Have
intro
you
is
seen
literally...
the intro to Kingdom
No,
Hearts?
I
It
haven't
is literally
Okay.
3 hours long.
The way it works
Wow.
is you start out, like, you know sort of the story-ish of
Yeah,
Kingdom
yeah, I
Hearts,
actually
like,
saw the
Sora
timeline from
exists.
GT. I saw this,
Alright.
so I know the whole story.
Also, this won't be very big spoilers for anyone, but at the very beginning of
Oh, yeah,
Kingdom
it's
Hearts
the,
2,
It's the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It's never spoilers.
Yeah. Oh,
your
spoiler, you start off the
Roxas,
game.
which is Sora's...
Nobody.
Okay, nobody.
Yes.
And he doesn't know that, and you legitimately spend the first 2 to 3 hours of the game running around as him with no idea what you're doing, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And by that, I mean you start the game, and you try and find some pictures, and after running around the town for a while, you find them, or the thief that took them,
And then you make
sort of
some
do
money
combat.
to go to the
and
beach.
then everyone's like, hey guys, let's go to the beach. But wait, we need money. Let's go do these jobs about 12 times in a row. No, more than 12.
Okay,
I think it was almost 30.
I want to make something clear. Also, to me, the first temple dungeon, the first thing of Skyward Sword is part of the intro. Because of the way the narrative flows.
Which one?
Skyward Sword, it's the first one.
Like,
It's
the first dungeon, which dungeon? It's been a while since
oh,
I've played.
it's the,
The grassy foresty
yeah, it's the
place.
grassy forest.
First
The
place
one
you
that you
meet
go back
Garrett.
later and it's watery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thanks for the spoilers.
Ooh, water. Anyway,
I
too
didn't
much
even make it
water,
that far.
7.8.
Dude, I haven't beaten Skyward Sword.
You're an ass.
Do you want me to set it up for you?
I've beaten, like, 3, 4 dungeons.
It is so good. And legitimately, the further into the game you get, the better it gets.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the exclusion of that one godforsaken... Fuck that boss!
Yeah, that boss is hell. But, okay, like, I could forgive the boss, but that intro, the whole intro, the reason I've never counted the first temple or whatever as part of the intro for any other Zelda game.
What about
But-
Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, Ocarina of Time, you have to.
Well, no, but it's actually kind of fun. The first temple is actually kind of fun.
I don't know, like, that's just gotten boring to me just because I've done it so many times.
Well, so have I, but
There have been, like, a lot of times where, like, I'm going to start a new playthrough, and then don't.
also, in all honesty, you can finish that first, like, the Deku Tree and all that, you can finish in 15 minutes or less.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
In Skyward
Wind
Sword,
Waker?
getting to that foresty temple is at least 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
It just drags, and it drags, and it drags so much.
It legitimately, for a first playthrough, it was amazing
It was
because
great.
it set the atmosphere so thoroughly.
Mhm.
Though, also, as a first playthrough, it was one of those games you had to sit down and play for a while. Like, you couldn't do it, okay, I have half an hour, let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay, I have half an hour, let's do it again.
Okay, don't get me wrong, too. If you go hero mode, which I suggest you do because the game is, in my opinion, too easy, I think hero mode is the perfect difficulty to me.
Alright.
But if you go into hero mode, you can skip cutscenes, which helps. But the cutscenes aren't what make it long. In fact, the cutscenes there's not that many at the beginning,
Yeah, no.
to be honest. It's the whole teaching you how to play, you run around, do this without your sword, go talk to this guy, get your wooden sword. Like,
Mhm.
it's ridiculous. It takes too long.
Not worth.
Not worth.
Yeah. If it weren't for those two factors, Skyward Sword would be my number one.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if you remove either one of them...
Yeah,
I'd
honestly,
put
yeah,
it
that's so true.
if
Remove
you
either one of them.
both?
Ooh.
Flawless.
Not flawless,
No.
but really damn good.
But anyway, all of that to say, yes, I agree. I think you agree. I don't know who agrees with who, but somebody agrees that the way they handle the overworld, even Skyloft, people complained about it, like going in the clouds, that there wasn't quote unquote much to do. But
Honestly, my only problem with being on the Loft Wings was that they were slow as fuck.
yeah, that was my only problem too.
Yeah.
There wasn't really that much to do, but the things there were that you could do were great. I liked them. They were fun. They were a nice distraction. It was good.
But I mean, people were expecting it to be Wind Waker levels of just, there's so much goddamn shit to do, holy fuck. But what they did was they're like, okay, the entire emphasis is actually on the ground. Then there's stuff to do in the sky, but that's not the main goal.
To me, they did the exact opposite of Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess, they made the world big, and they're like, look at how big it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And there was nothing to do. Well, there was stuff to do, but it was shitty stuff.
Yeah.
In Skyward Sword, everything felt condensed, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. You didn't get that huge world sense, but at the same time, you
got
always
more
had
out of
things to do.
Mhm.
You never really ran out until the end of the game. Because, I mean, obviously,
end of the
this is
game.
all subjective. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm saying for somebody with similar mindsets, well, most people that like Zelda, really, and the whole series as a whole, I think would agree with that. I don't know, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But anyway, I'm a little worried about that it looks a little barren.
I wouldn't be at this point.
No, that's why I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
If I were really worried...
I wouldn't even be a little bit at this point, because we legitimately just don't know enough.
But I'm such a huge... Like, Zelda means so much to me
Yeah.
that if there's anything wrong with it, it would just crush my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Alright.
It would just crush me. Because to me, first-time playthroughs are so important.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Like,
for me,
Skyward
too.
Sword, even though it's not... It's honestly not a great game to replay. It's the least fun replayed... It's the least fun Zelda to replay,
Really?
in my opinion. Yeah.
I don't generally replay Zelda games. I think Wind Waker's the only one I've played through more than once.
Well, the reason I replay Zelda games is because, like, you do it and then, like, the world kind of gives you an idea of, like, you skipped so much because you wanted to experience the story.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, once you get past certain parts, you can't go back and do certain things. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it makes you feel like, okay, now that I know the story, I can go into this world and I could just
Yeah.
explore it and do stupid shit,
Honestly,
do what I
like,
want to do.
I feel that way about, like, every game.
Yeah.
I've tried playing Borderlands with Jaxus, and I just couldn't. I just did not enjoy it. But after, like, sitting down and actually doing a playthrough of the first game, I was able to just sit down and just dick around with friends in Borderlands 1. Like, I didn't care anymore. I thought it was legitimately fun. But since I didn't actually sit down and do a first playthrough, I did not care for this game at all.
Yeah, but, like, that's a multiplayer game. I'm talking about
True.
singular experiences. And the reason, like, the first impact of the game is so important because, obviously, if you don't like it the first time and it's a
You're
solo
not gonna
game,
play it again.
you're never going to play it. Exactly. So it has to be good right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be happy if it came out with the same, I wouldn't say the same flaws, but if it was similar to Skyward Sword, where the first time you played was really great, and then you play it again and you're like, oh, it's kind of hard to replay.
For that kind of game, that makes sense.
I would still be a happy camper if that happened.
Yeah.
You know, because, assuming that the world is big and that it takes me a long time to play, you know,
Yeah.
I would actually be very happy with that.
Because, honestly, you can go in and you want to expect that you will get your money's worth and you will get just everything you want out of the first playthrough. Anything past then is...
Like, just icing on the cake, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. And obviously, icing's good, but you want that cake to be good
Yeah.
and just the core to taste so great.
I don't like icing on cake. I just
I
like
really
the normal
don't, to be
cake.
honest.
I hate icing.
Depends on the kind.
I love
Yeah.
pound cake. You guys ever had pound cake?
Okay, actually,
Sure.
Pretty much just
running
plain
with
cake.
this analogy, that's my problem with Majora's Mask. They did too much of the icing on the cake, like, you know, and not enough meat,
Yeah.
not enough cake.
Dude, I don't want meat on my cake. That's gross.
You know what I mean? Like, the side quests are really great, but there's a reason they're called side quests.
Yeah.
You know, because they're really great in tandem with the great main story. The
Yeah.
main story, Majora's Mask, was short, and it wasn't very well executed. But the side quests were great. But
Honestly, I thought that Majora's Mask was an interesting gimmick at its core. I just didn't like it as much as Ocarina of Time. And I
That's
didn't
saying
like
something.
Ocarina of Time
Yeah.
enough to finish it.
again, though, just to be clear to all you people who are probably angry, because there probably will be people.
Sure,
Yeah.
because it would be mostly new people on iTunes. I don't dislike Ocarina of Time. I went back and tried to play it after having already played Wind Waker. And Wind Waker just took Ocarina of Time and built off of it. So going back, it just felt like a less refined version of a very similar game.
Which isn't even an opinion, it's a fact.
Yeah, and
It is a less
I
refined
don't,
version.
I don't feel like Ocarina of Time is a bad game.
No. But
However, having already played Wind Waker and legitimately just not having that much free time, I'm not going to go back and play Ocarina of Time.
And plus, he's a scumbag.
Yeah, plus you're a scumbag.
Like, I see it as a great game, and it had to happen to have Zelda step off of it and become what it is now, and I mean, thank God for Ocarina of Time for that. But just going back to it from from Wind Waker and especially now Skyward Sword, I just can't.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I actually probably would have thought something was wrong with you if you played it
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, it's my favorite Zelda
I was
game.
lucky enough to at least dick around with Ocarina of Time before I beat Wind Waker.
See,
I didn't beat it, but I still dick around with it enough to enjoy it.
The thing is, I'm a little bit older than you guys. You were old enough to still be there, but you were at that age where it was like...
I also had a bit of an odd family situation.
Yeah, we don't want to go into it here, but...
Yeah.
But yeah. Richard, though, for sure, you weren't old enough to be at this stage in life. Like, what is so... you've actually experienced with other games, I bet, but what is so important about playing a game in the time frame of when it first comes out is that you get the full effect of what that game actually feels like. Because you guys will never have this feeling, and that's what sucks. Like, if you watch anybody from the 90s, they give you a top 10 games, Ocarina of Time, I mean, we've seen... How many top 10 lists have you seen? And Ocarina of Time's number one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because the time it came out, the impact was so great. There had never been a game that was so quote-unquote perfect. That was
honestly,
so big.
I can look back and see it because 3D games were just starting to get big, and for a game as legitimately like Ocarina of Time, if it hadn't been shown up by its own series,
would still hold up very well.
It would, but it's just been shown up by its own series. But looking back and being like, okay, so 3D games aren't really that, like, people aren't used to them yet. They're still like, oh my god, this is the new thing and amazing. And they still have that kind of appeal of, wow, holy crap, I've never seen something like this before. And then scaling it up to the size of the world and the scope of the story that Ocarina of Time had. At that point, the jump from, like, 2D Zelda to that is fucking mind-blowing.
Dude, you have... Oh,
like,
man.
I can look back and I can see that.
The first time... Literally, the first 3D game I ever played was Ocarina of Time. Before then, I had played
Especially
nothing.
that.
Yeah.
Nothing but 2D. When I expected that village that you start out in with the forest and stuff, I was expecting that to be all that there was. Because I had seen gameplay of 3D, and usually 3D games were just so much smaller than everything else, than regular 2D, because you had to make sacrifices. But once you were forced out of Kokiri Forest and all that, you step out into Hyrule Field,
And you're just
and I remember being a little kid, and I'm like, what? I remember like, what?
I remember being forced out of the village and having to talk to the damn owl.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Like, Kepura or
Kimura Kapora or something like that. I can't ever...
I really don't know, honestly.
something? There is no pronunciation.
He's annoying on... That's another thing. He's only annoying on the second playthrough. The first playthrough, he's actually really useful, because you're just like...
King Red Lions, though? Like, resurrected or something? Not resurrected,
No,
but like...
he's Skyward Sword, Zelda's
oh, yeah,
father.
that dude, yeah.
Yeah, resurrected. But he was actually really helpful, because he actually gave you hints
He did.
for the dungeons. So the first playthrough, he's really helpful, and you're like
Second
actually
playthrough,
looking
you're
for
just
the
like,
owl
shut
sometimes.
the fuck up.
Yeah, second playthrough is like, just go away.
Shit, I hit. I didn't catch that.
Oh,
I
no.
hated that so much.
What's the point of that? Like, what's the point of, like, giving that option and defaulting on that option?
First playthrough is the point of that, because you got to remember at
don't
that
wanna miss
time.
it.
Yeah, at that time, most players the adult gamers you have now are gamers because they were kids when they started. At that time, there weren't many adult gamers compared to there is now. So everything was oriented towards kids, and no kid can retain all that
Yeah.
the first time reading it. And so that was the point of it. What I don't see, the thing that messes me up, and what I hate, is that they mix them up. They mix it up to
Honestly,
no means yes, and yes means no.
It would be a lot better if you could just mash B to continue and A to loop back. Like a lot of games, like Pokemon. Oh my god, thank you for that so much.
Yeah.
I legitimately, I think I would hate playing some portions of Pokemon without the ability to do that. But they didn't have that.
Last thing about Ocarina of Time for me is, one thing you do is you look at 3D games at the time, even on the PlayStation 1, which is supposed to be the superior console of the time. You look at Metal Gear Solid and stuff. Graphically, nowadays, Ocarina of Time holds it better.
Mostly because of the art style.
Yes.
But yeah, they did that on purpose.
Exactly. With Wind Waker, again,
oh yeah.
even Skyward Sword, like, it looked almost as beautiful as the highest gen thing you could get, and it was on the Wii, and that's because of the impressionist art style that they chose.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, like for Wind Waker, it still holds up just fine on the GameCube. So when they redid it on the Wii U version, I'm not gonna lie, I find it fucking hilarious, but it looks like they remade the game and went, shit, it still looks fine. And so they took the bloom slider and they maxed it out. And they're like, this isn't enough. And they fucking broke the bloom slider and put it at like 300%. Like, it ends up looking pretty good, but I see that and I just laugh my ass off.
This is a joke for the viewers, because you guys aren't into movies, but it's like J.J. Abrams directed the game. Lens flares.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I just want to say real quick. I saw this a lot too, and I know you guys probably did too. Fuck anyone who just hates a game because they don't like the art style. Like Skyward Sword, that is so stupid. I heard so much hate for Skyward Sword because of the art style.
Here's the thing,
Same with Wind Waker.
Yeah. That actually gives them that. It's not. Don't be mad at them. That's the typical Zelda thing. At the time, Ocarina of Time wasn't as graphically powerful as some of the stuff on PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it was a little too square or a little too cartoony. 10 years later, it's the best game of all time. Wind Waker. Same thing. Now all of a sudden...
everyone hated that shit.
They despised it when it came out.
Twilight Princess, not Wind Waker.
And actually,
Skyward
Twilight Princess,
Sword, not Twilight Princess.
if you notice, Twilight Princess is the closest to going for that graphical fidelity, and it is, over the years, it has become lower and lower and lower on people's scale of what a Zelda game is. Generally, obviously, there's exceptions, and I like the game, but...
Also, I think what he was saying wasn't so much that I hate people who say they don't like a game because of the graphics, but it's people who refuse to try a game and see how, like, the gameplay and the actual game itself is.
Dude, yeah.
Based off of,
like, honestly, like,
just the visuals.
Anything like that, like, just small little rant real quick, shit like Teen Titans Go or something like that, like, okay. It's just, like, not even giving something a chance because it's not what you're used to, I guess. But there are legitimate reasons why people don't like it, but still.
I don't like Teen Titans Go because I like the original Teen Titans, and to me, the original Teen Titans was kind of what I wanted out of Teen Titans.
I know, but it's just like, it's not supposed to be
I
Teen
think what
Titans.
he's saying is...
No, what I'm saying is... It's,
I think what you're saying is the reason you don't like Teen Titans Go is because, as it was advertised under the Teen Titans name, you expected it to be similar to the first one.
That's what I meant. Like,
art
that's
style
where
meant
I'm at.
nothing to me.
However, what G-Man's saying is that people who, like, completely hate on it and be like, this shit sucks because it's not this, or because it doesn't look the same way.
Pretty much the gist of it is...
Okay, try out the show itself, see if you like or dislike that.
The gist of it
I
is...
legitimately just don't like it as much.
The gist of it is, I don't like it when people don't give anything a chance because of, like, one thing.
Yeah.
That is retarded to me.
Yeah. Definitely. Depending on what that thing is.
True.
Because,
Tripping.
I mean, for
Tripping.
for one example,
like
I don't know,
small like that, I guess.
could give this gun a chance, but, you know...
Okay,
no, but...
I feel like people are stupid or don't admit certain things because even if you don't like a certain game, there's a certain, like, quality to a good game that even if you don't like it, you can tell it's a good game.
Yeah, it's like there's a number of games that it's like, I can tell objectively this is a good game, it's just not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
But when people be like, okay, it's... Oh my god, why am I fucking saying that? When people are like, yeah, no, I don't like this game, so therefore this game sucks.
That's stupid.
That is... God, that bothers me so much because a lot of my friends are like that.
A lot of people...
Shoutouts.
A lot of people will look at something and they either can't or refuse to tell the difference between subjective and objective. And then they try and state their subjective opinion like it's a fact. And granted, like, whether a game is good or not is technically always subjective. Because its whole purpose is as entertainment. But you can still look at things and be like, okay, objectively, compared to a huge amount of other games, this one is probably better, whether you like it or not.
I personally don't like it, but I can tell it's better. What are some examples, just going off the cusp?
I usually have a lot, too, which is the shitty thing, and I can't...
Well, just... Okay.
Same.
Like,
so do I. But it's so hard to come up with it on the spot.
A lot of the times, it's just kind of like... It's just because I don't like the genre. I guess most turn-based, but that's kind of just like I'm not
Okay.
a fan of the genre.
I got one. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, that's
Most
honestly-
turn-based. To me, like Skyrim.
Yeah,
I can tell
yeah.
it's a good game.
I'm
but
totally
there's-
with you on that.
But there's just things about it that I absolutely despise. But I get like combat. I think it's weak, and I mean weak.
Okay, as someone who I haven't completed Skyrim, but I actually hopped on and started playing it again not too long ago. Yeah, like even with combat enhancing mods, it's still lacking. And without those, oh my god.
The thing is, there are certain things. Okay, Morrowind to Oblivion was huge. It was like, it was still the same game. Don't get me wrong. Like in terms of like, it's still Elder Scrolls.
Mhm.
But there was night and day. It almost felt like it was so much better. Oblivion to Skyrim was literally like a Oblivion 1.5. That's literally what it felt like. And don't get me
This
wrong.
new map.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it felt like Skyrim was less of a great game and more of a great world.
Yeah. But
'Cause
again,
it had some serious mechanical issues, to say nothing of Bethesda being Bethesda, so everything
Yeah.
crashes all the goddamn time.
I think I honestly picked a wrong example, because when I look at things like, even though and people are gonna say it's next gen, but not really that much. But like Dragon Age Inquisition, straight up it's Skyrim, but with better action and better story. Like it is Skyrim improved.
Okay.
I haven't played it, but
If you
I
like
can't speak
Skyrim,
to it.
give Inquisition a chance. 'Cause
Honestly, I've been planning to.
it's like everything. Leave the hinterlands as soon as possible. Do not stay in the hinterlands.
Okay.
Anyway,
What systems is it for?
it's for PC. It's BioWare, so all of them pretty much. PC.
Well,
Xbox
PC,
One,
I'm
PS4.
set.
Yeah, BioWare
That's
will
what I
always be
care about.
PC first.
Okay.
That's kind of their thing.
I'm
Uh,
okay with that.
But yeah, just like, Minecraft is actually a better example.
Yeah.
People love the shit out of it, and honestly, when I look at Minecraft, unlike Skyrim, I can't really objectively come up with flaws because I know what it's going for,
Mhm.
and it does it so
It
well.
hits what it's going for perfectly. It's
yeah,
just, that's
it's just not my thing.
No.
Yeah, I've always looked at Minecraft and I've gone, this could be cool to build things in. But anything I would build in this, why would I not just build in either like Blender or some other 3D modeling program, or write myself in code?
For me, Minecraft is like, I don't like building stuff in the first place, really, in games.
You do not like mining or crafting.
Yeah, so the only option I would have left to try to enjoy Minecraft is Zelda style gameplay. Really.
Mhm.
And, which is fine, except for Zelda does it all better.
But I can
Dude, even
still
looking
look
at it
at
like that, it's still boring as hell. Like to
Yeah.
me.
Well, yeah, that's just
Of course,
personal
yeah.
preference, but I will 100% recognize that it's just because, subjectively
It's
speaking,
not what
it's
we
not what
want.
I'm into.
Yeah.
It does what it's trying to do to a T. In
Oh,
all
yeah.
honesty, it may be one of the most perfect games of its genre.
I do have some problems with it, but most of that is on the coding side. Notch, why the fuck did you write that in Java? Oh my god.
I don't understand what that means, but I'll let you complain.
He wrote it in a cup of coffee, dude.
Yeah. Java's not considered very good for performance, and then the way he handled, like, storing the blocks, at least originally, it might have been rewritten since then, but was legitimately just pants on head retarded, memory-wise. That's why everyone talks about how you need to have, like, a supercomputer RAM-wise to run Minecraft well, at least way back when. I don't know if it's the same anymore, because I haven't followed it much recently, but it used to be
Alright, so let's move on to
Dude.
no more what?
We got on this tangent from cake.
Oh my god. We should be the Tangent Cast. Welcome to the Tangent Cast. Season 5.
What? Where did the first four go? We got here from the first tangent of cake?
Yep.
That fast?
We're the Tangent Cast. We grow exponentially.
We speedrun tangents.
Oh my
Run
god.
tangents. This is speedrun number 243.
Yeah, this is live on Twitch right now, actually.
So let's move on to Okay, Zelda's gonna creep back into this, but what games are you looking forward to the most for 2015 that you know of or think that will be in 2015?
Stairfix.
Stairfix?
Star Fox.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Legitimately, you said stair fix, and my first thought was bug fix for the Super Mario 64 stair glitch.
Why would I want that?
Fuck you.
But Star Fox for sure. Just because I grew up on that series. I've always loved it.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the new Star Fox 2. Like, I've never actually played all the way through one of the games except for Assault. And even that, like, I recognize it as it's probably not the best of the Star Fox games.
But not the worst.
But
I like
I'll be
loved
really
64.
interested to see where they go with this, as long as Project Guard isn't, like, the main part of it.
Dude, I
Or
hope
unless
that's not...
it's been, like, majorly improved.
I hope it's not like Assault where it's just like, alright, a third of the missions are in our wing, another third is on foot, another, like the last third is guard.
Where the fuck was Fox and Falco's reflectors in Assault, the ground levels? It's down B.
Where the fuck
And
is
you're
Falcon
invincible.
Punch? Where the fuck's the F-Zero game?
Fox McCloud should be done with his racing career by now. He has a son that he must apologize to.
You mean
Just
James
let me know,
McCloud?
Fox McCloud.
Yeah.
James McCloud. See,
Well, I don't know. One of the endings of Command
is he talks to his ghost.
Falco and Fox, like Crystal leaves like Star Fox or something, and Fox gets really depressed, and Falco's
Spoiler
like,
alert.
you know what?
Spoiled
it's,
it.
It's like not even canon.
Spoiled it.
And it's Falco and Fox. They change their R-Wings into F-Zero racers, and they get into like F-Zero races and shit. I hope that's canon. I hope that's
Yeah, I
canon.
know.
Dude, Star Fox Wii U, half Star Fox, half F-Zero.
Dude, can we please get Captain Falcon and the Blue Falcon as like an alt or something?
That'd be great.
Like as a hidden character along with Samus and her gunship.
Not gonna
Please.
lie, it would have been hilarious to have a Captain Falcon outfit for Bayonetta 2.
Zero Suit Captain Falcon.
Why wasn't
Bayonetta.
there one? I want to see giant, like, falcon hair demons.
Just one of the finishers is when she summons the thing, it just comes out as a giant falcon punch.
Oh my god, someone please.
It's funny how most of Captain Falcon's lore comes from Smash Bros. At this point.
Honestly, Captain Falcon is more a Smash character than an
Well, I don't
F-Zero
know.
character.
They didn't reveal in Smash that mofo's 37 and a bounty hunter. Oh, they probably did somewhere.
I'm pretty sure they did in Smash the Bounty
The
Hunter
cartoon,
thing.
the anime to Captain Falcon F-Zero is more based on Smash. I mean, he has a earth-shattering Falcon punch
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with actual F-Zero
Finally
games.
showed him without his helmet, though.
Was he hat?
I think it only came off when you did the Falcon
Was
punch.
was he hungry hat?
I already forgot.
Okay, so
Oh.
besides Zelda,
Bonsai.
besides Zelda, is Kingdom Hearts 15 supposed to come out next year?
I don't know.
If it is,
Wait, Final
He was
Fantasy?
joking.
Kingdom Hearts 15.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm actually...
Final Fantasy 15.
Is Kingdom Hearts 3 slated to come out next
Yeah,
year?
it is.
Because I know that
I
it's
don't
come...
know.
Wait, is Kingdom Hearts 3 the one that the guy's finishing up and then working on 15, or vice
It's
versa?
15-3.
Okay, then
Oh,
maybe.
it's 15 to 3?
Well, it's one guy does basically all of it. I'm
No,
getting
I know.
this info from Shane.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
I just thought it was the other way around.
I don't know.
Because it looks like there's a lot. I think
it's 15 to 3.
because there's been a lot more work shown for 15.
Because Kingdom Hearts 3 has been, I think it's been confirmed to be coming out 2015.
What?
So that means Final Fantasy 15 is
I don't
either...
know. I feel like if
I
that
don't
was
know if it's going to be 15.
correct,
I think we would have
then
heard
Shane would have like flipped the fuck out, and I would have known
Samus.
about it.
Oh, I don't know.
But
then.
yes, like
Well,
I'm pretty
either
sure.
way, 2015 seems to be Final Fantasy 15 time.
Mm-hmm.
And that game
Honestly,
looks really good.
As someone who just does not give two shits about Final Fantasy, I am so hyped for 15.
Yeah,
I honestly,
same.
I played 7 and liked it, not for the story, but I liked it for the RPG elements and just exploring, and it was just generally a fun game.
Not gonna lie,
But that's the only Final Fantasy I've ever liked.
the Final Fantasy games, from what I've seen, have always been, like, they seem to be really good if semi-generic. I'm not sure if that's because they're kind of genre-defining, though.
No, they're pretty generic.
just
I'm not gonna
RPGs, and then their stories are also pretty generic, just done really goddamn well most of the time.
Final Fantasy is one of those weird series where most of Final Fantasy games suck. Objectively speaking, they suck. I mean, the last 3 suck anus.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do a good one, they do a good one.
Yeah.
Like their lows are pretty low, but their peaks are extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Am I the only one thinking Sonic right now?
Yeah.
Why?
Their lows are low and their peaks are pretty high.
When was the last time they had an actual high?
That's true.
Colors.
Was that really a
Generations, you
high,
mean?
or was it actually just finally being a Sonic game?
AJ, do you mean Generations?
I really like Generations,
Just
but
show us
in
how.
general, I feel like Colors was just a lot better received. And while I don't like it as much, I think that objectively it's probably the better game just because Generations was, A, really fucking short, as you said, and B,
But even still,
was a
Colors
lot
was still pretty
simpler.
short.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know, like, they're fast games, yeah, but like...
A lot
at
of
least-
people didn't like the amount of boost that you got in Generations as well. Everyone's
Yeah,
like,
like,
it's boost to win.
I think people just, like, dimps as boost to win, like, that's just their company.
Anyways, what I was going to say is FF15. I am extremely excited for that game. Purely gameplay. I don't give a shit about the story from what I've
Neither
seen
do
about
I.
it.
Gameplay looks cool as hell.
Legitimately, I think that the only way they could, like, disappoint at this point, from what I've seen of the combat engine, is if, basically, like, if the majority of the gameplay that's been shown off right now is QuickTime events, just where they hide the button inputs, because I've seen games do that before. If you actually have full free control of, like, your combat, your fucking blink ability, including the, like, throw your sword into a wall and blink to it, that shit that was shown in some of the earlier trailers. Oh my god, I'm going to love that game so much. But if it's just, like, a QuickTime event or scripted to hell, I'm not going to get more than an hour in before I just say, fuck this game.
Yeah.
By the
seriously.
way, like, I don't even care for the series, but he said FF15, I immediately thought, FIFA 15?
FIFA World Cup 15
Yeah.
is the best game of all
That's
time.
that's his anticipated game.
What game that's come out this year or last year, like, that's come out that you haven't played yet that you're looking forward to just playing once you get a chance?
Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, that's my answer. Bayonetta 2.
For sure. And
Probably Oris
Rats,
after
he's
that.
Second,
We've had, I don't want to get into this,
again.
but we had this giant discussion at Mongolian Grill.
Dude, that place was so good.
Yeah, it was
Shout.
Mongolian Grill. So
I was about
good.
to say, I can feel it in my body that I will be experiencing Mongolian Grill a bit again.
Mongolian Grill actually has this really great policy where they guarantee your order or you get it for free.
I don't know about for free. You get free ice cream.
You do get ice cream, yes.
That was neat.
But
With nuts.
Bayonetta 2, honestly,
I've just heard so many good things about it, and I was already pretty excited for it.
Yeah, I've been wanting a sequel for that game for a while.
I actually have this on podcast, but didn't I say, you remember this, that Bayonetta 2 was going to turn out to be like the highest reviewed game of the year? I said it
I'm not
in
sure
a
you
podcast.
said that, but I know that
No,
you
I
said
said it
something
was-
along the lines of it was going to be one of the best games of the year.
No, what I said, and I remember the conversation, I said it's going to be game of the year, and then you were like, well, I don't know about that, specifically because because people choose whatever the website wants, and I was like, okay, fine. Then it's going to be the highest reviewed game of the year, like Metacritic-wise or something like that, because you called me out on the whole game of the
No,
year
I think
thing.
what I did was, I don't think so, smash.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that was
that's...
Smash.
Yeah, but I was totally right.
Yeah?
Honestly,
Not gonna lie,
that direct,
So good.
watching it, this
The
game,
dub was so good.
it just... $59.98,
Yeah, I was
people.
about to say, like, and so cheap.
That
$59.98.
fucking deal.
No, but that... Literally, they showed everything that... It seemed like they were hiding nothing of the game because they knew the game was so good they shouldn't hide anything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were an open book. They were like,
Honestly,
this is our game.
I wasn't sure I agreed with you solely because of the genre, and I knew that just that genre, as has been shown, just doesn't sell that well.
Well, Bayonetta 2 has not sold very well.
Exactly.
But I wasn't talking about sales.
Unfortunately, that is a huge deciding factor. So, honestly, with the amount of sales we've gotten, sure, it's gotten, like, the highest score of the year, like, everywhere.
And everybody who's played it, reviewers and non-reviewers, all love the shit out of it.
But it just, if it doesn't sell enough, they can't afford to keep making them.
The thing is,
So
the first what's sad even is that Bayonetta 2 was not supposed to happen. The first Bayonetta was also one of the highest reviewed games of the year when it came out. It didn't sell at all. So they said, sorry, we can't make Bayonetta 2.
Honestly, it just kind of feels like that's...
But
There
Nintendo
hasn't
walked
been,
in
like,
and saved them.
big platinum game that has just sold, like, so much.
Because a lot of what they do
It's
is
so niche.
hack and slash.
That is true.
And that, it, like,
Even
they're fun
Vanguard,
as hell, but they just don't sell.
the most platinum-ish platinum game is Vanguard. It's the third-person shooter where you're sliding all over the floor. That across the
I actually
board
wanted to play that.
was like a 9.5 to a 9.8 is what was given out of 10. Usually is what review sites gave it. Nobody played it and nobody bought it. That is the most platinum game. That is the most platinum-y you can get with platinum games.
Like, what about, like, before platinum? Like, I know Okami was really good, but, like, how did that sell?
It sold
Okay.
really well.
Okami did?
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, I mean, all combined. The Wii version, PlayStation
Yeah, but
2
that's
version.
like 4 versions of the game.
Yeah, they ended up making a pretty good profit out of it,
Okay,
though.
that's good at least. But I was going to say, because it feels like a lot of really, really good games just don't sell. Psychonauts, Prime Series, everything by Platinum. Just all sorts
Honestly,
of shit.
Zelda is one of the worst-selling Nintendo franchises.
Yeah.
Out
Honestly,
of-
Metroid as a whole doesn't sell very well,
No.
also.
It's more
The only
popular
reason
here
Zelda
anymore.
even comes out anymore is
Mhm.
because the West buys it more than Japan does.
Same thing with Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the West buys Zelda enough to where they actually make new games.
Mm.
R.I.P. in peace.
But,
Yeah.
no, I totally know what you mean. It's like,
It's terrible.
I don't know. Honestly,
I don't know why.
people just like what feels
Yeah.
safe.
Mm.
Because the thing about Mario,
Yeah, it's
yes, the
safe.
games are good most of the time, but it's the
safe.
same shit over and over again, just
Yep.
a new skin. Zelda takes chances. People feel like the formula gets old or whatever, but when you really sit down and play a Zelda game, whether it's the art style or motion controls or like just being groundbreaking and doing new stuff,
Honestly,
they take chances.
They do.
I feel like they take chances, but not in the way that you're saying, because a lot of those just kind of come off as either not super relevant, the art style thing, because it doesn't change the game. That is, as you were saying about Mario, just a new skin. And
Except
then
for-
the Wii Remote, every time I hear Wiimote, it mentally screams gimmick. But what Zelda does, they do take risks, they just do it subtly. Like,
That's
they
what I mean.
introduce, like, very odd new items, things like that, or completely new traversal methods, like the friggin' double hookshot shit. That was cool
Yeah.
as hell.
The thing is, though, there's a
But
difference between skin and art style, because let me explain it. With Mario, you put a skin on it, it looks prettier, it may look or whatever.
Oh, so you're saying updated graphics by that?
Yeah, skin to me is an upgraded graphics, just art style. When you look at Wind Waker, it did change everything in terms of everything was just okay. Think about like stuff like the bombs, the way things worked, animations, the way it gave Link attitude that he
Yeah.
never had before.
Honestly, I really like that.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean when I said like art style. It's not just the graphical fidelity or the way it actually looks, but it's like shit. Skyward Sword, because of the impressionist art style, it even affects the vibe that you get off the
Well,
game.
the art style, the main thing it affects is the feel of the game.
Exactly.
Because you could have technically had Wind Waker. You could take Wind Waker as it is right now, and obviously it would take like a shit ton of work and stuff, but you could technically remake it in the standard, if there is one, just Ocarina of Time, I guess Twilight Princess.
I say more Twilight Princess because
But-
Ocarina of Time was pretty cartoony.
Twilight Princess is updated Ocarina of Time, basically.
I disagree with that a lot. Which
Okay,
is,
A little bit, but not
outside
too
of
much.
the shadow areas, like when you start the game, it's a bit darker version of Ocarina of Time from what
No.
I've seen.
I don't mean to start arguing, but no, because the way enemies are designed is more cartoony, way more cartoony. If you know what I mean. I don't know if you understand what I mean. In
Yeah.
Twilight Princess,
Yeah.
they try to make the enemies more realistic. In term, you know what
Honestly,
I mean?
they didn't even do that. They just
went
went
dark.
Darker, okay, darker, realistic. You know what I mean? Sorry, viewers, if you
Batman.
don't. But
Yeah, they went Batman.
they went Batman, yeah. But with Ocarina of Time, everything has like, even though it's not animated, it has like a very animated feel to it.
Yeah.
You know?
But anyways,
Anyway,
back
yeah.
to what I was saying.
Tangent.
You could remake it in. Well, you could remake it in Twilight Princess's art style.
Or Skyrim.
And it would play the same. It would still be a great game. The only thing that would really, truly change about it is the feel of the game.
Well,
And it is designed around having the other art style and being really expressive, but you could do it in Twilight Princess, and that would just be a reskin.
you could, but like, no,
It would hurt
totally,
the overall experience.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to explain why.
Mhm.
Because yes, you could technically do it, but at the same time, could you imagine having a realistic art style and making Link short with like a big head, huge eyes, and
Well,
like
but you wouldn't have to.
that's what I mean.
Mhm.
You're change like if you change it from being an anime pretty much to a standard,
Mhm.
you can't do those things anymore because it's jarring. So you change it to something different. A lot of the expressiveness of Link comes from the fact that he's got those big eyes. He's got the head with the little shakes and the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those go away now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually trying to back you up in my own way. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say, but that's how it affects everything. If you go with a certain art style, you can't do certain things.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
what I'm saying is back to what you were saying about just a reskin. I feel like if like Ocarina of Time came out, and then Wind Waker came out, and the only thing that really changed was the art style, I would not say that game had changed at all. Because the core gameplay, what made it really, really good, hadn't changed, and the reskin, sure, it changed things, it changed the feel and stuff, but not enough to make it its own new, really amazing game.
Except for, again, that's why what I'm trying to explain. If you go with a certain art style, you can't make enemies work certain ways because it doesn't fit the feel of that art style. Say like the idea of when Goma in Goma in Wind Waker.
Hold up. You just like did a gesture. I'm like, are you doing villagers up tilt?
No, sorry. Like Goma. If you did Twilight Princess version of that, you could not. And let's be real. Like you couldn't really get away with throwing your hook shot over the tail of a dragon, and then like jumping on and making the tail come down and slam him in the head and go with the eyes rolling. You couldn't do that
Yeah, you
because it wouldn't fit. So, I guess that's what I'm trying to explain about art style. The difference to me is that it literally affects how and the things you can do in the game.
Mm-hmm. From a purely gameplay perspective, like just looking at it, if everything was like black silhouettes and completely irrelevant of art style, you could still make it work by just, okay, grab this object, slam it into other thing, it's now stunned. However, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, if Ocarina of Time came out, and Ocarina of Time is exactly how it is now, and then Wind Waker came out, and it was legitimately, it played almost exactly the same as Ocarina of Time, just mildly redesigned dungeons, like same items, same everything, and they didn't take the chance on things like huge open world sailing, a bunch of new items, just all sorts of stuff like that, then I would just consider it the same game reskinned just like Mario, even if they still had their own art styles.
Right.
I see what you're getting at.
But no, I see I know exactly what he means. I'm trying to say that you can't just say that and not take art style into consideration. That's why I brought up the boss. For instance.
Well, no, I agree that it changed things. I do not agree that it changes things enough to matter to where I would not just count it as a reskin.
No. You don't get what I'm trying to say. What you just explained,
I think you're arguing a different point than I am.
No, I'm trying to explain. I disagree with what you're saying. I'm trying to explain why I disagree with what you're saying.
I get what both you guys are saying, and it's just
It's not meshing.
No, like I understand what he's saying. I literally just disagree with it, but I'm just trying to find the words to make you understand why I disagree with that. What you said.
I'm also having a hard time wrapping my head around it.
No, like, okay, so you were talking about items and stuff, right? You come up with, okay, the way Nintendo works may not be the perfect example because Nintendo does things weirdly.
They do.
You know,
It works, but it's weird as hell.
Yeah, it's
this
just.
shit with Smash isn't working.
But there were just like the sailing, right? Like, oh man, it's really hard to explain. Art style is more than just the skin, and that's really important to my point, because I'm trying to say that if art style is a, like with Zelda, art style is a thing that matters.
Yeah.
It seeps into the actual game itself, not just the skin, not just the graphic fidelity. It seeps into what items, like art style literally sometimes dictates what items are going to be like.
Alright, I see the difference. I agree with you on that.
Okay, that's what I'm trying
saying
to say.
that if...
No,
assuming
okay,
Ocarina of Time had come out, and then Wind Waker was created, and they did not base the world off of the art style, they remade Ocarina of Time and then went, wait,
Okay,
fuck
I
it,
see.
we switch here,
Okay, yeah.
then I would not consider it its own game just because the art style switched.
Okay, yeah. I guess I was just having a hard time defining what I meant by...
Well, you were looking at it as though, okay, they pick the art style and design the game around that. Whereas I was saying, okay, you take the game and then you put this on. I would not consider that a different game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost clicking.
Yeah, well, because the way Zelda games work specifically is they do come up with the gameplay first, but the way Anuma has said in interviews is they come up with the concepts. How it's executed then is dictated by the art style that they choose. So they say like, oh, we want some kind of item that you can control from a distance with the Wii remote and pick things up. Okay, we got this Impressions art style. What about this beetle thing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then they work from it from there.
As well as just in the world where they were at, it was like this kind of mysterious technology. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how does this work? Is it like... Honestly, a lot of the stuff from Skyward Sword, it looks like it could all be made out of, like, really elaborate clockwork or something, especially with the ticking.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love the art style of Skyward Sword.
It's never explained. And honestly, that
makes
works a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But it's very cohesive. Like, the whole world is extremely coherent and cohesive.
That's what I was trying to say a little earlier, that what we're saying is kind of the same, but there was just a little extra point that I was trying to add in there. And I think trying to explain that made me get away from your point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we ended up like agreeing and then not seeming like we didn't agree because I was trying to...
Hang on.
It was weird.
We are the Tangent Podcast. Where did this start?
Oh, God. We were talking about Final Fantasy 15.
We were talking about games not selling well, and that led into Zelda games not selling well.
Zelda games specifically, you were saying that Mario is safe, Zelda takes risks, and I was saying that they were more subtle, but indeed.
I mentioned like how they take risks, and then you mentioned they were subtle, and you explained.
That reminded me, you were saying like Zelda takes risks. You know what series has been taking risks lately and has not been working out?
Sonic.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
no,
Sonic.
that is actually a legitimate point, because that's the danger of taking risks.
Oh, Sonic.
Sometimes they just don't work out.
Honestly, Sonic Team, what they're doing wrong is they've found something that works. Colors Unleashed...
Done by Sonic Team.
Alright, okay, what Sonic is doing then. Colors Unleashed Generations are now kind of their core. It works for them, it sells well, at least acceptably well, and they need to take risks, yes, to find what works better, but, like, okay, here's a core game, here's a risk. Here's a core game, here's a risk. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, we're going to go back into, oh god, Sonic, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was...
Where it's just that.
To be honest, philosophically, I actually like what Sonic Team's trying to do. I don't think they're talented enough to do it. I think the people that are actually making the game are not talented enough to pull it off. So philosophically, I would say, yeah, that's the perfect idea. You do a safe game, and then take a huge risk, and then Nintendo does it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The difference is, Nintendo is supremely talented. The people they have are established. They've been in the business forever. You know what I mean? They're supreme.
Honestly,
once these people die, I feel like there's going to be a drop-off.
Oh, shit.
But right now, the people that are alive and working, these are in my opinion, the best game makers in the world are all really working for Nintendo and somewhat Sony.
All.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, somewhat Sony, like,
I might have to argue that some are working for a couple like Valve, and there have to be some sprinkled in because EA, for all their stupidity and bullshit, still makes some decent games, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo definitely has kind of a concentration.
Well, no, that's what that's the point I was going to try to get into. I just mean like they have the highest concentration of talent, you know?
Alright, yeah.
Because, I mean, Valve is supremely talented too. I mean, I always rave about them. BioWare is supremely talented as well. I mean, there's obviously other studios with great talent, but Nintendo has people that are established beyond established.
Also,
They've been around forever.
Sonic is taking... Like, they're taking risks, and they're getting things close to right, and then they're throwing in the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
Like, Unleashed would have been fucking amazing. LOL night levels.
Well, that's where talent goes into that, because Aonuma doesn't physically make any of the games. And neither
He
does
just comes up with a lot of the ideas.
But what Aonuma, and especially, this is what Miyamoto does for Zelda nowadays, because he's not actually involved with it, is they come to him with the idea, and he goes, that's good, don't do that, I like that. I feel like there isn't somebody that's that talented enough on Sonic Team to be able to truly, like, tell them what's good and what's not.
I sort of agree with that. Honestly, though, I do not understand how certain ideas got through development.
It's the George Lucas effect.
The Werehog thing?
Lucas effect.
What the fuck were they thinking? We have a game about thing go fast. Let's make it slow. Like...
Can I, like, admit something?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I like it, but I'm not a big fan of newer Sonic games.
Okay.
I like them, but it's just, like...
That's the general consensus.
I like the feel of, like, doing what I want to do, I guess, and not just kind of, like, hold this button, left, right, left, right.
Honestly,
I feel like...
as much as
like
I
having
love
control.
Generations, and specifically the Unleashed mod, because the stages are a lot bigger and more in-depth, I see why it's set up the way it is, where it's like, okay, you go straight and it's, like, technically on rails and you just have a, like, confined area of movement. I understand why they do that for the sense of speed. But I very definitely see why in the past, like, with Sonic 06, I see why they tried to have that in the Mach speed sections and then the rest of it be, like, open world. Sonic 06 just fucked it up hard.
Yeah, because, like, I know a lot of people just flat out don't like these games, but I also know a lot of people do. I like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I think that was really well, in my opinion.
I can't go back and play Adventure 1 having played Adventure 2.
I can. I'm a Sonic weeb. I can play whatever.
There's just a few things, like no light dash without the supercharged thing.
That
That bugs me.
But at least there's
some
not
of the
too
camera
many parts in the
things.
game where you can't even use the light dash.
Honestly, though, I miss that, because in Adventure 2, I love being able to, you're going quickly, and then, boom, speed up a bit from
my
it.
favorite thing in 06 is having light dash and pound, like the ground pound is the same button. That's my favorite part about 06, over Bottomless Pit.
You know where else that was a thing? Adventure 2.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
Adventure 2 wasn't as bad about it. It had a pretty decent ring detect
06
hitbox.
Was not. There's been so many times where I've just flat out died because of it.
Alright.
But 06 is 06.
Honestly,
Yeah.
even Adventure 1 and 2, as much as we like them, they kind of fit the formula we were just talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonic Stage is great. Chow's awesome. Eggman?
Big.
Oh, that's the reason I can't play 1, sorry.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I do like playing as, like, some of the characters. Like, Tails is interesting. I don't care what people say. I like playing as
Sonic,
Knuckles.
sure. Tails is
I
just
like
more
Knuckles.
Sonic.
I like Knuckles.
Yeah,
I like the Knuckles gameplay, to be honest.
same.
A lot of people
It's
hate it. I
not-
like Knuckles.
What it is,
Adventure 1
I
Knuckles.
like Knuckles gameplay, but it's not what I bought a Sonic game for.
Sure.
No.
Like, if it was its own thing, honestly, I probably don't like it enough to go out and buy it separately. But it
Captain Knuckles Treasure Tracker.
Basically what it is.
But I would not be like, okay, I bought this Sonic game because I want to play as Knuckles.
I like how you give the little fist, like, Knuckles!
Oh, there are like, yeah, it's not what I bought it for, but I ended up liking it anyway.
Yeah,
like stuff
same.
like Gamma. I love playing as
I
Gamma.
don't know. I wasn't as big of a fan of Gamma's. Like, I didn't dislike it. but it wasn't
I liked camo.
like it was neutral for me.
I just thought it was cool, and then Avenger 2 came along and took it and made that shit much slower. At least be grateful.
Honestly, I think that I could probably stand the mech stages a bit better now because I saw a speedrun of the hero story of Adventure 2 Battle, and you can basically the thing that makes it so slow is that when turning the mechs lose all momentum.
They do.
But if you jump to turn, then you keep it. So I might be able to actually stand it now that I know that. But why the fuck do you completely lose all your fucking momentum? Come on, guys.
Probably because, like, there's just, like, one jet engine on the back and nothing else. And just, like, 2 legs moving, like, up and down.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Think of it.
Alright, we're gonna have to start wrapping this up because honestly we could talk forever.
Yeah,
Good.
we
really
probably
could.
could.
I could probably make this a 3-hour podcast so we probably wouldn't notice until like halfway through it.
January.
Until January. But it's starting to run a little long and it's starting to get late and well it's already late.
Yeah, it's a bit past late.
Yeah.
We have
Oh shit! We have the Smash Fest tomorrow. We need sleep.
Yeah. What time do we have it tomorrow?
Actually,
Promote it now.
It's okay.
oh fuck, we gotta wrap shit up now.
If you guys have been listening to us for a while, then you already know this pretty well, but
Yeah, that's all we're gonna say.
Goodbye.
I'm Jaxus, the guy who
Scumbag.
I guess originally set up the Smash Fest, and basically G-Man here and I are the ones who run it now, along with Rub here whenever he's in town. Motherfucker moved to Eugene. But here in Salem, Oregon, if you're in town, we run weekly tournaments for Smash 4, Brawl, Melee, and PM, and we may actually be starting 64 up soon. Because I had an influx of people who are interested in it, even if it's like relatively small. They're like, yeah, we just want to show up and play. So we may be adding that to the roster as well. We do Smash Saturdays, starts at 2 p.m. over at the South Salem Game Star. The Saturday ones are Brawl and Smash 4 at the moment. And we do Melee Mondays, which is Melee and PM. Starts at 4 p.m., same place, South Salem Game Star. If you want more information, then go to facebook.com/groups/Salem Smash Fests, or just search Salem Smash
Yeah,
Fest.
you can get a lot of info, I guess, and just random
Yep,
tidbits
that's where
from all of us.
basically everything gets posted. If you don't like Facebook for whatever reason, that's something I can totally understand. We also have pages on Smashboards under the, I believe it's the tournament listings event page. It's
That's how I actually
Salem
found it.
Smash Fest
I always think
weekly.
that's cool finding that, by the way. Like, every time.
Yep.
No, literally that's how I found AJ. Or sorry, that's how I found Ejaxis.
Yeah.
Literally
Also,
Smash
if you
Boards.
find
Friends.
if you find me on Smashboards, Jaxus, my whole sig is one giant fucking link to everything Salem.
Yeah.
Ugh. Wow, I have
Literally,
hiccups.
if you see
Salem Smash
Jaxis
Fest.
Scarlet, he does nothing. Facebook is literally his Smash Fest thing.
Yep. Basically, all I use Facebook for, actually, all I use Facebook for.
He talks to me sometimes.
Yeah, but you're also sort of indirectly
that's
Smash
true.
related. Anyways, also, I plugged it earlier jokingly, but my YouTube channel is where all the recorded matches for the Smash Fests go.
Scumbag.
As well as, if you've been following us, we are doing the placeholder challenge, and we've just started up a couple random versus matches.
where
G-Man
to?
and I have already done a race of Super Mario 64 and a full cast Iron Man of Smash 64.
Am I a scumbag now? Because he's bringing me into it? Or?
No, he's the one that started. He's scumbag.
Okay.
I'm
This is
definitely being a
season 2,
scumbag here.
You boo boo.
But, these will be uploaded across the 3 of our channels. Mine's Jaxus Scarlet, Rub's, obviously. People might be watching this on iTunes, yeah.
Unworthy EXP.
Apologies, but in the
YouTube.
past, we've only uploaded it to his YouTube channel.
So this is new. Don't give a shit.
Technically, last week was supposed to be the first, but I had computer problems, so.
And then G-Man's here.
I have
He's
almost nothing.
he's not actually certain of his YouTube channel name, correct?
No.
But if you find either Rub or my channels, we will have his channel linked.
Yeah.
So just do that, I guess.
I mean, one cool thing you can do, I advertised this last week, but, Jaxus has all of the newer stuff. So Smash 4, Um,
Did that computer just turn on?
It restarted Windows updates.
Okay.
some of the best of what we had to offer as in Brawl.
Mm-hmm. Is back on Rub's channel.
Yeah. So if you want to like watch the backlog and to catch up, because I kind of find it cool, and I'm not even really just trying to promote, to be honest. I think it'd be really cool if I were an outside person to kind of like follow our
Actually,
skill level.
I took all the matches that you have uploaded on your YouTube channel, and I, a while back, went back and broke them up by week. My YouTube channel, if you go to my playlists, has everything from the first ones
Yeah, do you see,
uploaded
like,
all the way
The
through.
links he goes for being a scumbag.
I know, he completely just... Then don't go to my channel, guys. Fuck my channel. Fuck Rub.
Yeah, they're all on
It
his.
just, links to your channel is all.
Yeah, but you still get the hits. Like, what a scumbag.
No, I know.
What a scumbag.
Yeah, they do go to you, actually.
Yeah.
Wait, if it's on my playlist, but it's on his channel,
Yeah.
I get the hit.
No, it goes to him.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say
No,
no,
but you're
that's not how
just
that
directing
works.
all the traffic to you first. You scumbag.
That's true, though.
Oh my goodness. I can't handle you right now.
Honestly, you should be able to look up, just in YouTube search bar, Salem Smash Fest, and then Brawl, Melee, PM, Smash 4, and maybe a date, and it'll probably bring up, if not just a shit ton of matches, then probably the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so, by the way, this is a PA announcement.
No.
No, that's not what you think.
No, it's, yeah.
My challenge was originally an Ocarina of Time challenge, but it is so boring to do a long game and do commentary like that. So we changed it to Mario, so the original Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what it is, but just a heads up.
The game will be technically not the first Mario. The Super Nintendo Mario All-Stars version, which basically takes the original Mario
16-bit.
in Super Mario World graphics.
Not world graphics.
It is.
No. Is it?
It is not world graphics.
Super Mario?
No, it's not. World
it is
graphics
not world
is way better.
graphics.
Anyway.
Dude, I just tested this on my computer.
Okay.
A
Okay. We can
Whatever.
have this
I don't
argument. We can have this argument later. It doesn't really matter.
I
In all honesty, I'd play the original
It's been
even
way
if it
too
was...
fucking long
About
since
the
I played
challenge
World.
thing, like,
yeah.
it is meant to be a challenge, but we also want to have fun with it.
Also,
And have it be
the
interesting.
reason why I chose Mario to redirect is because it was supposed to be one of our favorite games. That was the theme of this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite platformer of all time is the original Mario. For many reasons, nostalgia, and I just like the level design, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
What are your thoughts on Mario 64?
I'm not a huge fan of 3D
Collectathons.
Zelda. Or
3D Zelda.
3D
That
Mario.
is one hell of a reskin.
That was a reskin. No, I'm not a huge fan of 3D Mario games in general.
What about, like,
Like,
are you meaning, like, collectathons, or, like,
that's why the collective.
what about, like, stuff like 3D World?
I
Had different problems with it.
I just
I like
they're
3D
good.
World.
Okay, that would have been actually the perfect example for last time, or for the one we're talking about, the cake.
Mm-hmm.
I objectively understand why people like them, but
Just
I
not your
generally
thing?
no. I
Alright.
really love 2D Mario though.
Okay.
2D Mario is really really great, but
I've
I'm
been
not.
liking the 3D.
Huh?
I've been liking the 3D, not gonna lie. I like the collectathons a lot.
Everybody has their thing. I mean, Zelda's technically usually a collectathon, but I like the way they do it more than.
Because you actually get upgrades and new things to do when you get when
as
you
opposed
collect
to just
the thing.
literally just collecting. I mean, that's not to say
And
it's
like Mario
not good.
64 has a couple in the hats, but they're very few and far between.
I mean, 3D Zelda, god damn it, 3D Mario games are so different than 2D
Dude,
Mario games.
do
It's
you
kind
even
of
get
completely.
anything in Galaxy?
Okay,
Oh.
anyway, we're signing off.
Yeah.
Indeed
So-
we are.
This has been your host, Rub.
Jaxus,
G-Man the Cosmic Destroyer.
Thanks
thanks
for listening.
listening.
Hey, you scumbag.